How are we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and I'm going to be recapping UFC 312, Duplessis vs. Strickland 2. The card was alright. It was okay. The main and co-main didn't really live up to the hype. The prelims actually were probably the best thing on the entire card, I'd say. There were a lot of actually, banger-ass fights on the undercard. But, yeah. I did well on picks. 8-3-1. Let's get right into it. The main event, Dricus Duplessis versus Sean Strickland 2. Ah, man. With the way that Dricus performed, you'd expect this to be him to be more of a favorite. Sean looked really, I don't want to say trash, because he didn't look trash, but he looked super beatable, is the word I'll use. Last night, he looked extremely unlike himself. Wasn't utilizing his jab at all. Couldn't really find it in the first 3 rounds. Dricus looked really fucking good. And maybe that's why Sean looked so bad, is the improvements that Dricus Duplessis really utilized in this fight. And I said that going into this fight, that there's more room for improvement for Dricus Duplessis. And going into the fight, I really thought it wasn't going to be as competitive. I thought that Dricus was going to make it more definitive, but then as fight week came closer, I kind of propagandaed myself into Sean can make it close again, which, some rounds were close. Like round 3, I think, was probably the closest round on damaging strikes, because that's when Sean really landed a lot of his really solid strikes. But even then, I think that this fight was a 50-45. I'll be honest. I think there's more. But Dricus got the takedown and also landed some hard shots. I think he landed the spinning back fist and spinning elbow in round 3. Dricus utilized his body kicks very well. That was something that I thought that he would be able to do, is go to the body first and then start to attack the head with his lead question mark. I didn't predict lead question mark kicks, but I said that he would attack the body first, then go to the head, which is exactly what he did. Dricus' striking with his kicks looked really fucking good. And they usually do. He's very, deceptively quick with his lead leg, but he was utilizing the question mark kick perfectly. Sean just looked frustrated, looked uncommitted to a lot of the stuff that he was even throwing. It almost pisses me off that this fucking guy got a title shot now. He did not look like a top 3 fighter in that fight against Dricus Duplessis. And I don't know where he goes from here. Because now he's 1-2 in his last 3. Both to Dricus, to be fair to him. But I mean, who do you give him? I think that you can make the Whitaker matchup now. If you're going to do Caio Whitaker, which is a fight that the rumblings seem is going to happen, is a fight between Caio and Robert Whitaker. I like that fight. I like it. You can do Sean Nasruddin too. I think that would be a good fight. But if you're going to do Nasruddin versus Caio or something along those lines, do Sean versus Robert Whitaker. I think that's a fight everyone has wanted to see for a while now. DDP, man, looked really fucking good. People forget, man. He looked really good. He clearly outstruck Sean in this fight. Easily, too. I don't know what Sean's game plan was. It's almost like he thought he was going to be able to Foreman Ali him and let him punch himself out, which he did not. Dricus' cardio is very deceptively good. Like a lot of things about him, he's deceptively a really good fighter. And he just got fucking mollywopped for almost the entire fight. And Dricus didn't even shoot any takedowns. He didn't shoot any fucking takedowns. He only shot one really fully committed one in round 3 and then shot a half-assed one in round 5. Fuck, man. I wanted Dricus to win because I thought Sean was being a bitch into the lead up to this fight. Kind of I paid my dues at cost. I don't need to fight anyone else. I want the title. And kind of just being a prick almost. And I wanted to be competitive. But Sean just, looked like he I mean, he just, like, went way down from the first fight. His output was super low in this fight compared to their first fight. Just, it almost looked like he didn't care about going, like, full throttle like he was in that first fight. Like, he was willing to take damage, to throw. Dreykus, he'd had so much respect for Dreykus' power in this fight that it kind of just, I don't know. It is what it is. Sean, fuck you. No, not fuck you, but we get the fight that we all want. Dreykus versus Khamzat. Can't wait to see that. Make that for International Fight Week. Something along those lines. We move to the co-main event. One of the 3 fights I missed on, besides the draw, of course. I have no idea why I picked Tatiana Suarez. I got swept up in the hype. She got fucking butt raped in this fight. Past round 1. Oh my god. Oh my god. And Weili might have put a total strike record on this bitch's head. Fuck. Tatiana got a takedown in round 1. Most of the first round resided on the ground. After that, Tatiana couldn't get her down to the ground to save her life without herself being on bottom. Tatiana's just not good enough. I don't know why I picked her, to be honest. It was a terrible pick. Zhang looked good. Her striking looked good. Her grappling defense looked really fucking good. Tatiana kind of just looked like a lady who has only had 2 fights in the past 6 years. Yeah, I don't know. It was a bad pick for me. I apologize. But Zhang looked really fucking good. And now this fight can set up either a fight up a division, because like her versus Valentina, if you're not doing Valentina versus Manon Fiorot. If you're not going to do that, you can do Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan, or the winner of... Oh, wait. Yan and Verna Jandiroba are fighting, aren't they? At 314. Let me check, because I'm pretty sure that fight just got, like... It's not officially announced, but it got leaked. Where's 314 at? There it is. I'm pretty sure that they're fighting. Yeah. So you can't even do Zhang. So Zhang's going to be out for a little bit longer. Maybe they're trying to set up her versus Shevchenko. I don't know. Suarez, I don't know where the fuck she goes from here. Maybe her versus Dern, maybe. Now. Yeah. She needs a lot more experience. She kind of just got fucking touched in this fight without repercussions. Zhang looked strong. Her striking, again, looked better than what it did against Yan Xiaonan. It's just it was like a vintage performance from Zhang Weili. And I will probably never pick against her ever again. I apologize. Tatiana Suarez needs a lot more experience. She won the first round due to control. She looked strong in the first round. Besides that, I think she faded really quick. I think she didn't want to be there anymore by like round 3. She had her head down. She just wanted to go home, man. Great win for Zhang Weili. Advances forward to becoming one of the greatest women fighters of all time. I mean, she's probably at this point, top 3? Maybe. If you put her above Valentina, maybe. I don't know. She has to get a couple more wins before she comes into contention with Nunes, IMO. But great win. We move to the featured fight. Justin Tafa versus Tallison Teixeira. Tallison knocked Justin out in under 40 seconds. Essentially, Tallison is 6'7". 6'7". Justin Tafa's 6 foot flat. He landed a big old head kick early. Kind of shook Justin up. Justin, did he throw a punch? I think he threw like one straight hand. Tallison kind of like got into range, got into a clinch, kneed him twice to the body, and then elbowed him in like his face. It landed near like the eye, and Justin kind of just like fell over. So, yeah, Justin Tafa is shit. But this is a great win for Tallison Teixeira. Justin Tafa has only been knocked out, I think, it was only to Jorgen De Castro, right? I think so, or maybe I'm completely wrong. Has he been knocked out more than one? His only other loss is to, I think, Jorgen Nakasha, when he, like, runs in at him and just gets fucking chinned for it. But yeah, besides that, he has never been finished. So that's actually a really solid finishing win, considering also how dangerous Justin Tafa is, how he hits very fucking hard. Tallison, we have another heavyweight guy to look out for, humongous for the division, 8-0, just won by first round KO in 35 seconds. I mean, you can put him against any fat fucker you want, and he'll probably dust him up. You could do him versus, knowing them, they're going to give him a fucking ranked opponent next, but we got a badass main event for you guys. Fucking, what's the guy's name? Waldo Cortez Acosta versus fucking Tallison Teixeira. How about Boudet? Or Boudet already has a fight booked, but after Boudet's next fight. I mean, he didn't take any damage, though, so. Honestly, I'm just scrolling through these fat fucking heavyweights right now. What about Thomas Peterson, maybe? Sean Sharoff. Junior Tafa. You could do him versus Junior Tafa, Justin's brother. That would be kind of sad, actually. Don't do that. Him knocking out both the brothers, that kind of fucking suck. You can find somebody for him to fight. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm kind of just like going through the motions right now. But we move to Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. Jimmy didn't lose. It ended in a draw. Hold up. You went out of the room. All right, Nina. Come on. Get out of here. You gotta get out of there. Rodolfo Bellato is a fat fuck. Not a fat fuck, but the first round was a clear 10-8 for Jimmy Crute. Rodolfo, like, pulled guard, but instead of guard, it was top mount. To Jimmy Crute, he duplessied himself, but at a bigger division. So Jimmy Crute just started raining ground and pound on him and beat his ass. And then he got up and knocked him down pretty bad. Round 2 and 3, I thought round 2 was really close. I think you can even argue that it's possibly a Jimmy Crute round. But I guess Rodolfo did land some really brutal leg kicks and landed some good strikes of his own. Round 3 was Rodolfo Bellato's round for sure. It's either a draw or Jimmy Crute wins. I don't know. This was probably the best fight on the main card, like, entertainment-wise. It was a really solid fight. Rodolfo Bellato shows that he just is a moronic, stonehead, fucking idiot. And Jimmy Crute is now, 0-3-2 in his last 5? Jesus fucking Christ, man. That is a depressing last 5 fights. Holy shit, yeah. He hasn't won a fight since 2020. Holy fuck. We move to the start of the main card. Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. This was aight. It was an aight fight. It was mostly Jake Matthews just landing more than Francisco because Francisco was a little undersized. Jake Matthews, it looked like 2 separate divisions fighting because it was 2 separate divisions fighting. Prado, like, equally landed round 1 a little bit. But then he got a takedown at the end of the round, but Jake Matthews clearly landed the harder shots. He was landing his left hook. It was money all fucking day. And round 2 and 3, he kind of just like Francisco his arms were too short to land really anything of note on Jake Matthews. So Jake Matthews boxed the head off him. Really rough matchmaking for Francisco Prado, to be fair, in his last 2 fights. 6 foot. Is Zellhuber 6'2" or 6'3"? I think he's 6'2". 6'2" lightweight Daniel Zellhuber, who has a fucking, 10-inch reach advantage on you. And now you have to fight Jake Matthews, up a weight class, who is a veteran of the sport. He's been in the sport for like a decade. Not the sport, but the UFC for a decade. Fuck that. Fuck that. It sucks for Francisco, but we move to the featured prelim. Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Man, this hurt to watch. Oh, you want back in? What, are you sneezing all over the place now? Jack Jenkins, besides round 1, got worked bad in this fight. Round 1 dropped Gabriel with a head kick. Gabriel kind of like got stunned really bad, Jack landed a bunch of shit on him, a lot of ground and pound. Subsequent follow-up shots, Gabriel recovered. I think, did he reverse him at one? No, he went for a triangle and kind of just like resided on the ground for the rest of the round. Round 2, very early in the round, Gabriel takes him down, holds him down for literally, I think, the entirety of the round. Round 3, early on, they're standing, they're trading. Gabriel throws a front kick and just fucking plows through the face of Jack Jenkins, hurts him pretty bad, and then subsequently takes him down, gets his back, and subs him with a rear naked choke. Jack Jenkins got subbed, and it hurt to watch. I picked Gabriel Santos because I think that he's a badass, he's a marauder, and like I said, you kind of have to bully Jack Jenkins a little bit in a fight like this, and Gabriel Santos has a bully fight style. He bullies the shit out of people. And that's 2 fights in a row that he's hurt people with front kicks. He dropped Yi Jia with it, and he hurt Jack Jenkins with it. Jack, is he undersized? Is he a little undersized? He could be. What's that height looking like for, he's 5'7" for featherweight, so he's not like, Gabriel is a big fucking kid, to be fair. He's a big fucking dude for the division. Jack, I think, needs to be a bit more active. I think he can't reside to being on these Aussie cards every 7 months. He needs to be a bit more active, kind of work his way back up. He had the Herbert Burns fight as a bounce back fight from the Chepe Mariscal one. I think this fight really showed where his level is at. Jack Jenkins is a badass, very entertaining, but Gabriel Santos is just a bit better than him. Very great win for Gabriel. I mean, that's a huge win for Gabriel. Jack Jenkins has wins over guys like Jamal Emmers, Herbert Burns. Who did he beat in his debut? It was it was Don Shanus. That's where he like kicked the shit out of his legs. But yeah, Jack Jenkins is good, but Gabriel Santos is just a bit better. We move to Tom Nolan versus Vyacheslav Borshev. I actually hit on this fight. I thought this fight was probably going to be explode in my face, but man, Vyacheslav kind of got just worked a little bit in this fight. Besides, like, round 2 was close, but Tom Nolan leveled up in this fight. He genuinely looked really fucking solid in this fight. And like I said, he was going to go for takedowns, and he did. Vyacheslav kind of was he was kind of struggling with the reach disadvantage in this one, kind of plodding in and out of range, getting tagged up. Tom Nolan looked solid. That's a big, because like he didn't even like he grappled with him, like he clenched and tried to control Vyacheslav in Slavic Laws, but he didn't like dominate him on the ground or anything. But still, being able to mix it up, being able to beat a guy like Vyacheslav on the feet as well. I mean, he only had 2 minutes of control time. Vyacheslav actually had more control time than him. So being able to beat Vyacheslav on the feet that's very promising for a guy like Tom Nolan. Very good win. I don't know where you go from here, because now he's 3-1 coming off the Reyes and Borshev wins. You could do him versus him versus Michael Johnson, I think would be a cool fight. You could do that. Maybe Tom Nolan, Muktabek Oralbai. I think that'd be a good fight. Muktabek just lost to Mateusz Rombetsky, so they're probably close in comparison to each other. That's a cool fight. We move to Wang Kong, or is it Tong? Have I been pronouncing it wrong this entire time? Is it Wang Tong versus Bruna Brazil? I thought this fight also could have went wrong for me, but it didn't, because Bruna Brazil just decided to not throw anything in this fight. She kind of just subsided herself to losing the fight. I have no idea why. It was just a very awkward performance from her. She kind of just looked like she didn't want to be in there. Wang Kong did very well in this fight, striking from range. She actually outkicked Bruna Brazil, which, in my opinion, that's very impressive. Bruna Brazil is a very good kickboxer. Bruna was just kind of running away the entire fight on the back foot, never tried to advance forward where she's the best at. Wang Tong. It's not funny now. Wang Kong is so much better. It's such a better name. I might just mispronounce it just for the fuck of it, but I have to watch it. Is it Wang? It's like the first time I've struggled, because how do you get Tong out of Kong? How do you even get that? Wang Tong. Can't do that impression. Yeah, she just looked very good. She leveled up, got some aura back. She didn't finish Bruna Brazil, which is how I expected her to win. But yeah, good win. Very solid win. Bruna Brazil, coming off the Molly McCann performance, kind of name merchant right there for Bruna Brazil. Great win for Wong Tong. We move to Colby Thickness versus Alexandre Topuria. Alexandre won. He looked good early on. Man, Colby Thickness is kind of just like a soy boy almost. He's kind of a pipsqueak. Round one, Topuria was kind of just stalking him down. Looked very much like Ilia Topuria, but had an insane takedown defense as well. Right hand, he's very fast with his boxing, very stalking presence, jabbing, right overhand, very dynamic with his kicks as well. Ended up hurting Colby in the first round. He didn't drop him, but he hurt him bad enough to where Colby dove for a takedown. Alexandre was getting to the back very quick every single time, which is the thing I like to see, especially at bantamweight, where you have some guys who are just going to shoot willy-nilly takedowns on you. It was a good performance. Suplexed him in round one. Round two kind of had a lull in the action, but was landing the harder shots. Round three was a weird one because Colby actually landed a really solid right hand on Alexandre that kind of, it was a big shot, and Alexandre kind of just looked at him. And then Colby just shot a takedown. That was shit. Why are you shooting a takedown there? And then got reversed for it. You got reversed every other time that you shot a takedown. You think you're going to get it in round three? Fuck no, kid. Alexandre got his back, held him down for the entire round. Great win for Alexandre. Colby Thickness, he was 7-0, lost, not undefeated anymore. Sucks to suck, but, it is what it is. We move to Rong Zhu versus Cody Steele. This was the first fight since the Tatiana Suarez fight that I missed. I did kind of go on a run there, didn't I? I did. And then also the draw, which kind of fucks things up, but it is what it is. Rong Zhu, Cody Steele, badass fight. Sick fight. I said I wanted to pick Rong Zhu, and looking back on it, I fucking should have. Cody Steele gets hit so much, dude. Round one, slugfest. Cody Steele stalking him down, hurts him in the first round, and then gets hurt bad himself with a... Rong Zhu, land with his he was throwing a hook, but it was so wide that he didn't bend the elbow at all, that he landed with the forearm on his head and then chinned him with a left hook. Cody Steele got hurt really bad. Kind of gassed himself out in the first round trying to throw back while hurt. I mean, he landed 27 strikes in the first round, 9 in the second, 23 in the third. The second round, he did kind of get whooped and dropped bad early on with a jab. And then round three kind of just got outworked. Rong Zhu looked good. Very good usage of range. Cody Steele, kind of just a little green a little bit, I'll say. She kind of blew his wad in the first round. Wasn't going to the body nearly enough as I thought he would, coming off the Contender Series performance where he was just ripping body shots. But you're back again? All right. Great win for Rong Zhu. Cody Steele, undefeated no more. I don't know where you go from here because Rong Zhu is 2-3 in the UFC. Cody Steele, he's a fun guy, entertaining dude, but he's got to work on his cardio. And also, just general, Jesus, what the fuck's going on? General IQ, fight IQ, that is. Kind of just threw all this shit out the window in the first round. Also, didn't really shoot any takedowns after round one. Got him down early and then got reversed, but that was a good look for him. Being able to take down Rong Zhu like that, I thought he'd be able to get more, but it is what it is. We move to Jonathan McCaleb versus Kevin Gisay. This is the other one that I missed. Jonathan McCaleb looked really good in this fight. The best he's ever looked, I'll say. Looked really solid against Kevin Gisay. Like I said, this guy, he has a rear side kick to the body and head, and then a jab, and that's really it. And he utilized it fucking really well against Kevin Gisay. Beat the shit out of his body, bruised really fucking bad. Landed a head kick, dropped him in the first round, I believe. Was it the first? Yeah, he dropped him with a head kick in the first round. And then just kind of outdid him in round 2 and 3. Kevin Gisay was trying to, like, knock him out. Kevin Gisay don't knock people out, bud. When was the last time Kevin Gisay got a knockout? Hold up. I gotta look this up. I gotta check this. Like, Kevin Gisay doesn't really have that many. He's more of a, like, tit for tat kind of guy. He knocked out, is it Kittle Campbell? Kit Campbell. 1-5. Holy shit. Your ass. But yeah. Kevin Gisay kind of wasn't able to implement his style well enough. Jonathan used range very well. Body kick, head kick was... Most of his head kicks were blocked, I'll say, but his body kicks got through literally almost every fucking time. But they were landing on the arms sometimes, because Kevin Gisay's right side of his arm and body were just fucking beat red, because he's so white. Yeah, great performance. You know, we have an Aussie prospect to look out for, Jonathan McAuliffe. Winning like that against Kevin Gisay is very impressive. Considering that he didn't, like, put a crazy pace on him like Brian Battle and kind of gas him out and then TKO him. He just kind of outdid him. So, great win. We move to the start of the entire card. Killen Salkilled versus Anshul Jubli. Do not redeem it, sir! Do not redeem it! Anshul got knocked out in 20 seconds. He got brutally KO'd very early in the fight. Kind of sad. Because Anshul, prior to this, was like, I'll sub Khabib, brother. I will sub Khabib, sir. But got shinned in 19 seconds. Early stoppage. All right, let's get that set straight. All right, it was early, but I get it. Also, I don't care. Because I think Anshul would have been out of it anyways. The right hand that Killen Salkilled land just fucking set him off bad. Great way to open the night, I'll say. Killen Salkilled, lightweight, big for the division, 6 foot, 73.5-inch reach. A knockout like that. I mean, what are we talking about? Do we give him Dustin Poirier? No, we don't give him Dustin Poirier. You could do him versus, like, maybe Jai Herbert, after his fight at London, I believe. Maybe him versus a Charlie Campbell, maybe. Chris Duncan, if he loses at London. Who's he fighting at London again? Because that just got leaked, like, recently. Who's he fighting at London? Oh, yeah, Jordan Vucenic. He's going to lose that fucking fight. There's no way he beats fucking Jordan Vucenic. But, yeah. You know, you got a couple other guys you can throw him up against. Rafa Garcia after his fight at UFC Mexico City. Gregor Gillespie, if he ever wants to fucking come back, you know. I mean, if they keep Damir Hadzovic, I think that's a perfect fight for him. Yeah, but Killen Salkilled, badass guy. UFC 312, the prelims were really solid. I'll say Killen Salkilled and Jubli, badass, quick KO. McAuliffe, Gisay, badass fight. Zhu, Cody Steele, badass fight. Thickness Topuria, not as badass, but still entertaining. It had some decent moments. Tong, Brazil. I still don't believe that's how you pronounce her name. I don't care. Like, she's lying. Decent fight. Wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. I actually thought this fight would be actually really solid. But it was just Bruno Brazil running away. Nolan Borshev, decent fight. Jenkins, Santos, badass fight. Prado Matthews, forgettable, but alright. Crute, Bellato, badass. Tafa Teixeira, early finish. And then the two main card. And then the two title fights that didn't really live up to the hype. It is what it is. 312 is alright. Is what it is. Next week, we go back to the Apex for Cannonier Rodriguez. Decent card. Got some name value on there. Some decent fights. Some fun, entertaining matchups. You got, like, Chaos Williams, Calvin Kattar, of course, the main event. You got some other guys on there, like Shabazian as well. Yeah, I'll try and get a video out for you guys. In the meantime, I have an idea for a video. I just have to figure out who I'd put in it. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.